Hi, it's Leah from buildasitewithleah.com. In under 30 minutes, this tutorial will show you how to build a professional business website using Wix. Wix is what they call a drag and drop editor. That means it's super easy to use even if you don't have any technical skills. First, I'll explain how to create an account and select the best template for your business. Next, you'll choose a Wix plan and connect your custom domain. And finally, I'll show you how to customize your website and publish it for all the world to see. Let's get started. From step 1 of my guide, you will click this link to open Wix in a new tab, and then you can follow along with this video. When you see this home page from Wix, click Start Now. Go ahead and create your free account by signing up here. You can also log in with Facebook or Google Plus to make the process a little quicker. Enter your information and then click Login. Next, it's going to ask you what kind of website do you want to create. This allows Wix to narrow down some templates for you. So go ahead and select Business. So you now have two options. You can start with the Wix ADI or Artificial Design Intelligence, or with the Wix Editor. Artificial Design Intelligence is a cool new feature from Wix where they will ask you a bunch of questions and then create a customized site for you. Then you can tweak it from there. Right now it's limited to the amount of apps that you can use with it, and it has its own editor. So while it's great, I prefer to show you how to set up your site with the Wix Editor so that you can get the most out of Wix and build a beautiful, unique site of your own. So go ahead and click Start with the Wix Editor. Now you get to browse and choose the business website template that you're going to start off with. Just remember that the templates are flexible and can be customized to any type of site. And you can change anything that you see. But because they're starting you off with a professional design, it makes it so much easier and gives you a beautiful end result. I also want to mention that it's good to take your time to choose and start with a good template. That's because if you want to start over with a fresh template, you're going to have to start from scratch again. Wix doesn't allow you just to swap templates after you've already done some editing. But it's not a problem, you can do that, it just makes a little bit more work for yourself. Now to narrow down the templates, go to the left categories, click the business section, and then choose the one that applies to your business. You can also go to the top and use the search bar and just type in the type of business that you have. Then it will narrow down the results just to make that search a little easier. Now ahead of time, I viewed and selected this template to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and click Edit, and then we'll choose our premium plan and get customizing our site. I'll see you there. So now you're in what's called the Wix Website Editor. The first thing you need to do is choose your premium business plan and connect your custom domain name, which will become the name of your site. To do that, you need to go and click on Upgrade. It's going to ask you to save your site first, so go ahead and click Save Site, and when you see this screen, you're just going to click Save and Continue. It might take a moment for it to save. Alright, when you see this box again, just click to X out of it, and then click Upgrade again, and now you're going to click Compare Plans. So you now have 5 premium plans to choose from. Before I go over the features, notice that you have a full 14-day money-back guarantee on all Wix premium plans. So if you change your mind within that 2-week period, you can get a refund. The plan that I recommend is this unlimited plan. It's the most popular because it includes the most features at a great price. Unlimited bandwidth means your visitors will never be frustrated by slow loading times. You have lots of space there, even if you add media and videos for things to function smoothly. 10 gigabytes of storage applies to things that you're uploading to your site, images, videos, MP3s. You won't run out of space with plenty of storage. If you have a domain name that you've already purchased somewhere else, you can connect it at no extra cost, or you can choose one here. In that case, you get a domain voucher for 1 year free on the cost of the domain. You will have Wix ads removed from your site, and then these last 3 features add up in themselves to over $283 worth of bonuses and apps. The first one is to promote your site, so that's ad vouchers for Google AdWords and Bing ads. The Site Booster app gives you the ability to drive more traffic because you'll be listed on search engines and top tier directories. And then the Form Builder app, you get that for free for the first year, and it allows you to create a variety of forms for different purposes for your website. Now you'll make your selection and just simply click select. On this page, you get to select your unlimited plan subscription. It's tempting to go with the monthly subscription, which, as you'll see here, it shows as $15.95 month to month. But please note that the monthly subscriptions do not include the free domain or the premium apps and ad vouchers. Remember, I mentioned it adds up to $283 right there. So if you're going to be adding those things on yourself, you're going to drive up your costs significantly. Personally, I like to save 45% and select the yearly subscription, which includes all those things that I mentioned. Again, keep in mind you have that 14-day money-back guarantee. So make your selection and click select. Now this is the page where you're going to be entering all your credit card information, and at the bottom it even shows the cost of the plan that you've chosen. So go ahead and enter that all and then click submit purchase. Now that you've chosen your premium plan and paid for it, you can use that free voucher and get the custom unique domain name that is going to become the name of your website. Use the search bar here to check on the availability of the name that you want. And keep in mind that if you already have a domain name that you want to connect, you're going to go down right to the bottom here and click connect it, and then follow the screen to do that. So back up to the search bar. I'm starting fresh. My sample site is going to be a real estate site, and I'm going to type in the name of the real estate site that I want to create. Rockwood Real Estate. So if I click search, it's actually telling me that it's not available. So go ahead, use one of the suggestions below, or just type in a different name, a variation of the name. So I'm going to try Rockwood Real Estate Group.com. And great, green, it's available. Double check the spelling and then click get it. Here's where you choose the registration period for the domain name itself. Again, I like to go with the 1 year plan. I've got that free voucher for 1 year, so it's actually not going to cost me anything. Make your selection, click continue. On this page, you've got all your contact info, and it's a good place to just review to make sure everything is accurate, and you get a summary of the cost on the right. Click continue when you're ready. And now you have the option to purchase domain privacy. And this private registration protects your identity, prevents domain-related spam, and domain hijacking. It's a reality in the online world, so I do recommend it. It's only another $9.90 per year, so it's really well worth that extra layer of protection. So make your selection and click continue. Again, you're reviewing your payment information and purchasing that extra $9.90 for the domain privacy. Click submit purchase. And one final step here is you can select a personalized mailbox if you want. There's an extra cost for this. It allows you to have a professional email address at the name of your site, so at rockwoodrealestategroup.com in this case. You can choose to stick with an email address that you already have. Perhaps it's a free one that you got from Hotmail or Gmail or a similar service. Or you can upgrade by purchasing the mailbox here, which is customized. It is a little bit more professional to go this route. If you do purchase a personalized mailbox, Go over to step 2 after you're all done here, and I'll show you how to connect it to get working with that email address. So it's up to you. You can buy a mailbox here or just simply continue. So this brings us to the end of the upgrading part and connecting your premium domain name. So what you can do is go back to your site by clicking here, and then we're ready to customize the website. You'll come back to this dashboard, and if you click this arrow, you'll see a list of your sites. So this is the site that I'm working on now, and I'm going to click to edit it. So we're back where we started at the Wix website editor. Let's take a brief tour so you can see all the features you have when you start to customize your site. Across the top is the main navigation bar. You'll see a list of all the pages included in this template, and of course anything can be changed, added, deleted, or renamed. Anything to do with your site is found under the Site menu. Tools is how you can access this toolbar here on the right. It also explains these dotted lines that you see here, which actually allows your website to look good on any device. So if you keep all the important information inside the dotted line, you'll have no problems. The help menu is always handy to have close by. Wix has a great support center with videos and even screen guides, so you'll have plenty of help in addition to my support. We've already chosen the upgrade plan. This little arrow here actually hides the controls on the left and the right. Notice when I click it, they disappear, and then I can bring them back. So it's handy when those buttons interfere with things that you're trying to customize. Zoom out and reorder allows you to have a little bird's eye view of your site. Let me just give you a look at that. And then as you scroll, you can see everything at once, and allows you to reorder sections and delete things. It's really, really handy. Back to our site, we have undo and redo buttons. Here's where you can customize the mobile view of your site, which is included for free, and I'll talk about that in step 2. Save, preview your site so you can see how it will look when it's live, and then publish. That makes it live for the world to see. So for now, we're going to go over to these buttons on the left. This is where you would add any features that you want. So images, maybe you're adding a map, you're adding an app, you're accessing all of the things that you've uploaded. It's all found here on the left. On the right is a toolbar. So this allows you to adjust elements that have already been added to the site. When you click on something, the elements will go black and you'll see which ones are live and that you can actually use when you're customizing. At the top, you'll see the header. This is the area where you're going to find your logo, the name of your company, and the horizontal menu, so the menu with all the different pages and sections of your website. It's really important to help people navigate very easily. To change any text on your site, and this applies to any text on any page, you simply hover over the text, click, and up will pop a button called Edit Text. When you do that, the text is highlighted, and then you have this text settings section here where you can change the font size, apply different features and change the color, effects, and more. I'm going to go ahead and type in the name of my sample real estate company, and that will be changed right away. Now if you use this little circle and you slide it in, it's going to adjust the text. So in this case, it actually, as I shorten up the box, it's going to put it on 2 lines. Again, you can go ahead, play with the color, the different fonts, even a section of the font to give it a different look. It's up to you. Next, you've got this menu, horizontal menu. Again, this template has been professionally designed, so you don't really need to do anything or make changes unless you want to. To keep from being overwhelmed, I would suggest you adjust all the basic elements that are already there, upload your own images and content, and then if you want to get fancy, you can go back and play with some of these features. I'll just give you a little overview of how that works. If you clicked on horizontal menu, you could click on design, And then you'll see a list of themed horizontal menus. So menus that look good have been chosen for the theme that you have. And then further down, you'll have some other ones, a little bit more creative, colorful. And as soon as you choose something, it applies right away to your website. Again, I recommend you just stick with the themed ones because they've already been pre-selected and will absolutely look good on your site. We'll talk about managing the menu, which you can also do from this Pages section here a little later on. Moving down, the next section we see has this beautiful image and then these two container boxes. So a container box is simply a box that's been added. You can add one yourself from the add menu. And then different elements, in this case a shape, text, down here a button, have been added onto that container box so it functions as one unit. It just makes it easier when you're working with the design of the website. If you want to remove a box that you see, all you'd have to do is click on the container box and hit delete or the garbage can icon and it would be removed. Let's make some changes to this one. We talked about changing text, which again is simply clicking on the text and clicking edit text. This here, if you hover over it, you'll see it's a shape. So if I click on shape, I can change the shape. So they give you so many shapes to choose from, but if I typed in call, let's say I want to replace it with this little telephone icon here instead of what they had. So I click it, I click apply, and now I've got the icon that I just chose. I really like how that looks. And then again, if I clicked on that, on the container box and the paintbrush, now I have the option to perhaps choose a different color for this box. So say I go with this gold color. And now that's applied. Just gives you a different look. Again, you want to keep with the overall colors and theme that they've chosen. So here you have the next section with this image, which is called a slide deck strip. So it's a series of images that can play automatically when someone lands on your site to create more engagement. So first of all, check out the settings where you can toggle the button on so that it auto plays automatically when someone lands on the site. You can adjust the amount of time in between each image, whether they show text, how one image transitions into the next. Let's click crossfade. And once you do that, at the top here, you click the arrows to see the different images that have already been included in this template. Of course, you're going to want to change those. So go back and click change images. And then you can add images from your own computer. Now I've already uploaded this home, so I'm just going to click it so that it applies. And let's say you want to remove this one here, you simply click the garbage icon. So that's just an example. So it's very easy to add images just by clicking add image here. If we click done, you can now preview, go to the top right, and see how that slide deck strip functions, how it looks to your viewers. See how it fades in between with the delay that we chose. So it looks really, really nice. You can see how it would create more engagement, make someone stay just a little bit longer. So that's a good trick you can use. So proceed down the page. For each page of your website, the page you're on is going to be shown here in the top left corner. The next area we have properties for sale, consisting of an image, which again, you would click on the image, change image, and go ahead and upload your own from your computer and apply it to the site. You change the text by clicking on it. In the case of a paragraph, if you click on the paragraph and the text that you're entering ends up being a little bit longer, don't worry, because as you see when I hit enter, it just expands that area and moves that section down. So it makes it really easy because it just adjusts for you automatically. And there's those text settings if you wanted to play with the colors and font and so forth. They usually recommend not using more than 3 different fonts on your website. You want to keep things looking consistent. And finally, we have a button. So this button actually links to the Book Online page. So it's great if somebody wants to book a viewing of that home. Now, if you wanted to link to somewhere else, you could just choose that here. So it's asking you which page to link to, and you can even have it linked to an external website, an email address, a document, and more. You have lots of flexibility there. Say you want to change the design. Maybe you want to be more prominent, a little bit more colorful. Click on the paintbrush, so that's where any design elements can be adjusted. And again, you have your themed buttons. Let's choose this one. And now that's applied to the site, and you can see that there. If you want to change the positioning of the button, click and drag it. Remember I said that this is a drag and drop editor. And as that purple line pops up, that means it's helping me with alignment. So watch for those purple lines as you move things around. So click, drag. There's a purple line to tell me that I'm on par with the other button, and then I can adjust from there. So you want to go through and customize every section. We have latest rental properties. Again, it's just consisting of a strip with an image on top and text. We've already discussed how to adjust all those things. In this section, you have features of your business that you can actually change the shape here by clicking on it. Click change shape. These are all free for you to choose from. You can just type in a search term like home, choose what you like, apply it to the site. You can also link a shape to another page if you'd like, or even to an external website. So just click link to do that, and then the design and colors can be adjusted with that paintbrush icon that we talked about before. They've used this next section as sort of like a testimonials area, which is a great way to encourage people to use your services. So click on the text and edit it to add your own testimonials, or use this entire strip or section for something else that applies to your business. The background can be changed by clicking on the image and clicking change strip background. You can also change it not just to a different image, but a different color, a video, or one of these pre-selected backgrounds. So much variety to actually customize each template, so no two need to look alike. Further down, you have a contact section. And as you can see here, they've created a page which isn't really a page. It simply looks like a page, but simply takes the person to this section of the home page. That's why you see a little link associated with the name of that page. So this little blue box that says contact is called an anchor link, and I explain that more in step 2, but it's already built in here for you, so you don't have to worry about it. So when they click on the page that says contact, it's going to scroll them down to the top of this area. Here you have a form that's already been added, a contact form, and a map. Both of these things can be added to any template if it doesn't already come with it by going to add and to contact. You'll see different color maps and different colors of forms and styles that you can add. Now you'll want to make sure that the map and the form are both customized to be able to contact you directly. So the form, you click on the form and you would set your email address, the email address where you want the contact information or request to come to. You can change the design and even the settings to give it a different structure. For example, if you didn't want the person to have to worry about entering a subject, simply uncheck that box, and now the form does not include subject anymore. Over here on the map, click the map and click change address to enter the exact address so that the Google map can update to the location. And even the marker here, you just click here and change the name to your own company, and there it is. So very, very easy to use, and these white buttons are great for sizing. Simply drag as needed. You can click on text to change the color and add anything else you like. The last thing on the home page is the footer area. The footer and the header appear on every page of your site. So you'll want to change the copyright message. Click on it again, click Edit Text, and then the social bar. Click on the social bar, You can add the icon for any other social media sites that you may have. So click on Set Social Links. For example, if I have a Pinterest account, I can actually go down here on the left to Pinterest, and I'm going to find the icon that matches the others, or even create new ones of my own, and there it is. Now you're going to click on each social media icon, and then here is where you're going to paste the destination link, or the link for your individual social media site. And that way when somebody clicks on that from your website page, it's going to take them directly to the social media site. Great. So we're done with the home page. Next, they've included an agent's page. So a handy page to have individual information about each agent. So depending on how many agents you have, you could delete a section if you didn't need it. And then for the others, you would just adjust all the information so that everything applies appropriately. And then also click on the background if you wanted to change that as well to a different color. Next, we have the contact page, but we already discussed how that's not actually a page, but just a section that's marked with an anchor link. Again, step 2 has a video on that if you want to learn more. And at this point, I want to show you how to add a page. So say, for example, you wanted to add a frequently asked questions page. Many websites have that. So you would simply click Add a Page, click on Page, and then I'm going to type in the name of the new page. So I'm going to call it FAQ. Now maybe I don't want the FAQ page to be the second one here in my horizontal menu. So simply click on the page itself and drag it where you want it to go. So in this case, I want it at the end, and now you see it at the end. And the way this menu is designed, the page that you're on shows in a slightly different color. Now this page, if I go to it, which I'm on it right now, is actually blank. So I want to add text. I'm going to add my title. So I'm going to click Add, and you'll see the wide range of things in the Add menu is text right at the top. So page title, I'm going to click and drag that onto the page. Then I'm going to edit the text. So I'm going to type in FAQ. Oops. Next, I'm going to size that by dragging that little white button. And now when I click on it, I will actually want to align it to the center. So I'm going to get my toolbar back here, and then I'm going to use the align icon and click center, and now that FAQ title is aligned to the center. And so then I would simply drag out more text so that I could start typing in my questions and answers for my FAQ page. So it starts off like that, but then you just drag it. Okay, so maybe I want it to look like that. And now the text is going to fit the box and also expand as I continue to type. Let's see how that works. Okay, so now I've got a new page called FAQ. So you can also click on the center and change either the page design, which is going to be this affecting the center part here of your page, and then the background, everything around it. So go ahead and make your changes there so that it matches the rest of the site. And finally, the page that we haven't talked about yet is the Book Online page. Wix Bookings has already been added to this template, and it's an excellent way to sync your calendar and get a professional site that functions beautifully to, in this case, book showings for the various properties that this real estate agent has. Now there's 3 ways to check your calendar and manage your bookings. So the first way would be to go to the app market, where you're going to see the Wix Bookings already installed. You would open the app and you can have access from there. The second way is the fact that they've added bookings to your menu here on the left, so that's a pretty easy way to access it. And the third way is by clicking right on the section, and then you'll see Manage Bookings. So either way, you're going to come to this screen. Now you'll see that it offers you the option to upgrade. You only need to upgrade if you're going to manage group bookings or accept payments online. Neither of those apply to the real estate site, so we're going to be able to enjoy the features, the free features that are included in Wix Bookings without having to pay any more money. Now they've already started you off. We've got two sections, sales and rentals. Now perhaps I'm a real estate agent that doesn't have any rentals, so I could just actually delete this entire category simply by clicking the icon there. And then I'd want to go ahead and use this little pencil icon, edit, to upload my own images and property information. The calendar is where you're going to go to the top right to sync your own personal calendar. Mark off the times when you're not available. You can view it on a daily basis or weekly, and you just want to spend some time getting that right so that the bookings come through as you want them. There's a help button here at the bottom, so any questions you have you can access it from there. And Wix is very extensive in their support system, so you shouldn't have any problems. We're almost ready to go live with our site, but I just wanted to show you a few more things before we're done. You might have some questions about how to do specific things, so please go ahead and see step 2 of my guide and email if there's anything that you can't find there. Also, browse the app market. You're going to find a host of different apps that you can add to add specific features to your site. For example, you want comments. Maybe you want a different form. You want to add a chat feature. If you're searching for something specific, use the search bar. It's really cool and gives your site even more customization options. Finally, Wix support is awesome too, so check them out at wix.com and just click on the support tab. When we chose the premium plan, you'll remember that it included 2 free apps, the Site Builder and the Form Booster. You now need to claim those apps. So go to your email inbox and look for an email that looks like this. It is encouraging you to go ahead and claim those apps. You have 14 days to do that. And there's a link below each app, and all you have to do is click on that to go ahead and claim your app. You'll be able just to follow the information on the screen there. So let's go back to the site. The only thing you would have left to do once you fully customize everything is to publish your site, and that's what makes it live and online. So you're going to click publish in the top right corner, and then you can view the site right from here to see how it looks in all its glory. Go ahead and click through each page to see how everything functions, and remember, you can go back in, log into your Wix account anytime to update and make changes as you need to. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on how to build a business website with Wix. Thanks so much for watching.